So thanks to one of my Patreons, Marcus, he actually had a really fun idea for Valentine's Day. So comic couples are a big thing. I've done videos of my top 5 couples and things like that. But he had a really cool idea to kind of mix and match characters, but I couldn't really find a good way to do that in tier ranking style. So instead, I got a bunch of comic couples, and I'm going to put them where I like. So perfect couple would be pretty much the best type of couple, the one that we all strive to have or be or whatever. Cute couple would be like an enjoyable one where I think they can do more, but I still like it a lot. Messy would be, they work, but it's really messy and sometimes not too great. Doesn't work means that I don't think they're bad characters or it's even a bad relationship, but for some reason, it's just not doing enough for me. And ew is, look, come on, look at my fucking list. You know there's some fucking ews there. Look at that shit. We're gonna get to it. But let's start the list with probably one of the biggest couples in comics, Peter Parker and MJ. Now, I've always liked this couple. I've always liked it since I started reading, which I mostly started reading heavy in the comics around 2001 to 2003. And MJ and Peter were a big couple then. They were brought back together. And then you had Ultimate Spider-Man that began around that time. And again, it was MJ and Peter as a couple. So a lot of MJ and Peter growing up. And then in the last about 7-8 years, I've been going back in time and reading like the 70s, 80s Spider-Man, 90s, and during the mid-80s to like the mid-90s, you got Peter and MJ as a married couple, and it's great. I mean, I love their relationship. It's very depending on who's the writer, but it's usually a very sexy, a lot of fun, a lot of slice of life moments that I personally really enjoy. And then you also have the new Ultimate Spider-Man, which has Peter Parker and MJ as a married couple with kids, and it always works. So this couple's always really good. I especially like when they write MJ as a capable character who also has her own life and her own job and her everything else, and still working well with Peter. And just that relationship usually really works for me. I don't really have any complaints when they're together. I know some people rather have like Gwen and Peter and all that, and I get it. And again, I haven't, I'm 37, so I didn't grow up reading Spider-Man in the 60s and 70s or even the 80s. I went back and read it. But for me, this is pretty much like when I think of a great couple or one of the best couples, that's up there. So this is going in perfect couple. And yeah, I like them a lot. All right, so my next one is Rictor and Shatterstar, which, growing up, I actually was reading a lot of X Factor, so it's probably my favorite mutant-related book of all time. And Peter David does this couple really well. I just like them. I think they're really cute together. I think their power sets are really interesting, especially because I believe Rictor loses his power, but is still a valuable person to Shatterstar, who has a really cool power set. And so I've always enjoyed this. I thought they did good work with these characters. They're not brought in as originally being a couple or anything. They were on a team in the 90s, but later on came together, and I was going to do this, but that's lesbians. It's not gay guys. But anyway, the point is that I like them as a couple. I think they're cute. I don't think it's done enough where I'm like, oh, this is the perfect couple or anything. But in that run in particular, I enjoyed it. I like them together, and I think they're a cute couple that definitely could be better. I think if they give them more storylines that, give them a driving force of why they're together. But so far, I enjoy them. So it's going to go in a cute couple. Nice little cute couple there. All right, so we get to my favorites. Wanda, or Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver. And we're talking about the Ultimate Universe, so just not to confuse people. If you haven't read the original Ultimate X-Men from the early 2000s, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the 616, which they do not fuck. But in the Ultimate X-Men, Wolverine is being, a little bit of a creeper, a little bit of a stalker, as always. He's following them. And he stumbles upon, Wanda, taking back shots from Quicksilver. And so that's crazy. That's just crazy work. And if you don't know, if you don't know. They're brother and sister. So that's a little weird. Now, this was early 2000s. This was before Game of Thrones kind of made it okay for incest. I'm fucking joking, by the way. God, someone takes it out of context. They're going to be like, so you think incest is okay? I do not think incest is okay. It is weird. It's fucking weird. And they kind of acknowledge it as weird in the comic, but Ultimates 3 and Ultimatum are so fucking stupid and bad that this is just another reason why Ultimates 3 is so horrid. Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at that picture now of them, like, holding hands, and I'm just thinking, man, that's some fucked up shit. That's your sister, your fucking bro. Anyway, obviously, this is a big ew, if you didn't know. If you could have guessed where I'm going to put it, it's ew. Okay, so Kitty Pryde and Colossus. A lot of people like this coupling. I don't think it works. I don't like these two together. One, I think they got together when she was like 15 or 16. I could be off, but that's what it feels like. And I feel like he's like 25. That's a big age gap, and it's also, she's underage, so it's weird. I'm not going to get too in detail of that because I don't want to get demonetized here. But the point is, I've never liked them. I don't really think that they work great as a couple anyway. I've never, like, read a story where I'm like, oh, that's so touching. I just don't like this as a couple. And it's funny because I love Kitty Pryde. She's actually probably in my top 10 X-Men for sure. And Colossus is okay. He's kind of cool. But these two together, it's not one of my favorite. Funny enough, they actually made Colossus gay. Right? Yeah, it was Colossus gay in the Ultimate Universe, which I thought was a nice twist. But yeah, Kitty, I just never really liked her with him. I liked Kitty in Ultimate Universe with Peter Parker for a while, and I like Kitty just being a lesbian or bi, whatever. But I don't really like this. So to me, this coupling doesn't work. I know I'm in the minority here. I know a lot of people, you do like it, but not for me. All right, so next up, I know it's kind of hard to see here, but it's Nightwing and Barbara Gordon. And I'm going to go with cute couple. And the reason why is because I don't think this is a perfect couple. I don't dislike it. But to me, the most interesting relationship that Dick Grayson was ever in was when he was with Sean, and that was cut short, mostly due to DC editorial. But yeah, unfortunately, Barbara and Dick are not my favorite together, but I also don't think they're bad. They're not offensive. They're fun. They have some cute moments, and I do think their childhood makes sense of why they come together. So it is cute. And I do think both of them are very, very good looking. I mean, Dick Grayson, to me, is one of the best looking guy characters. And Barbara Gordon's fucking hot. You know, redheads always are hot. So, yeah, I think it's cute. I'd probably put it here just because I think it makes a lot of sense that they're together. All right, so I know it's hard to see, but that is Fantastic Four. Let me make sure of that. I'm looking. Okay, this is me from the future, so I'm going to make a big mistake and think that what I'm going to be talking about is Sue and Reed Richards, but I am completely wrong. The picture that is actually over here is Terra and Deathstroke. What I'm talking about in this next port that you're going to hear is Reed Richards in the Storm, and so I'm going to cut to talking about it, and then I'm going to take the correct picture, which is the one over here of them, and put them in the correct spot. So just so you know, I fucked that up by Sue Storm and Reed Richards, and I have mixed feelings on this. I think Sue Storm is such an interesting character. I really like Sue Storm. But I'm not a huge Reed Richards fan. I think he's an interesting character sometimes. I like that he'll do whatever he thinks is theoretically right. He uses facts, logic, but sometimes logic doesn't put in emotion that can affect people more than anything and change the outcome. So that's where Sue comes in. So I think they do play off very good with each other, but at the same time, I never loved them. Now, I will say over the years, I've always liked them, and I think they play good mom and dad. So that's why originally I was going to put, like, maybe doesn't work, but it does work. But it's also not one of my favorite couples. But I do think when they're mom and dad and they're working together, it's pretty cute. But the Civil War rift was really, well, it was really badly written. But yeah, that kind of had problems. So I'm going to put it in cute together. I do think they're cute together. But it's not a perfect couple for me. I don't think they complement each other 100%. They have the yin and yang effect of logic versus emotion, but at the same time, I never feel like these two are lovey-dovey, the best couple in the holy world. Okay, and so now I'm doing the correct one, which is this one. Here we go. That's where we're gonna talk about that in a minute. Let's talk about a couple I do really love, which is Wally and Linda. I think Wally and Linda is really cute, and it helps that the evolution of Wally's character you see over the years, from this kind of horn dog, kind of asshole-like character to a hero who's just trying his best. And he falls in love with Linda hard. He makes mistakes, but he's always trying to get back with her. And it gets even better when they have kids. I feel like that made the bond stronger. And over the years, anytime they focus on Linda and Wally, and then even more their family, it's just a really good storyline that I wish had even more focus in comics. I'm hoping currently with the new run we'll get that. But yeah, I love this couple together. Not as much as MJ and Peter because they just had more years together, but I really do enjoy this couple. It's high up there as like a couple that I think is almost perfect. Okay, so now, my mistake. Terra and Deathstroke is a fucking disgusting. I mean, this is the best way to say it, you know? Awful. Just awful. Awful. There's nothing else to say. So if you don't know the story behind this, Deathstroke basically uses Terra to get to the Teen Titans. By using her, I do mean have sex with her, manipulate her, and basically... I'm not going to say it because I'm not getting demonetized over a comic book, but you get the idea. So anyway, yeah, they're actually a couple because, well, you know, he's using her, but they do stay together for a while before his grand plan comes out, and it's fucking ew. Is it as ew as siblings? It's up there. I mean, it's hard to say what's worse. I mean, I would honestly say this is probably worse because of the manipulation and disgusting thing that happened to a teenager, but, sibling love is also really not good either. But I'm going to say this is the illest of the ill. This is number one of the ill. And I don't think I'm going to get much argument from there. But I could see either of these being the top of the line of ill. Okay, and so MJ and Paul is almost like a meme at this point. I mean... The biggest thing is I don't mind status quo changes. I actually like when they introduce new characters. I like the idea that Paul is not a superhero. He's not related to anyone. It's just a brand new character. That could be really interesting for MJ to grow as a character. Unfortunately, Paul is freaking boring. And I didn't like this relationship at all. Actually, the best part of this relationship was when MJ turned to Venom or became Venom and said, we're going to cancel this love relationship. Bye-bye. And that was probably the best thing. I don't have much to say to this. I think it doesn't work. I'm going to put it in ew because... it completely doesn't work. Doesn't work to me still as like good characters, but they just don't work together. Ill is they shouldn't have been a couple, and Paul is so offensively boring that he is an ill motherfucking character, which takes down MJ a bit. So yeah, this is going ill, but it's not as bad as these two. Let me make that clear. These two are far worse. This is like the lower end ill, and these are like the top end illy disgusting garbage. All right, so now we got Clark and Lois, and you know, over the years I've been reading them. I love Superman. I love Lois Lane. I've read so many stories of them now. I pretty much keep up with every Superman story if I can. And over the last, I'd say since maybe Rebirth, I think they've been the strongest couple in comics, or at least top 5, easy. Just like MJ and Peter, but the difference is I think that they always work as a couple. I've never read a series where I don't think Lois and Clark should not be together. This to me is the perfect type of couple, and quite literally because of who Superman is. He is one of the most perfectly capable guys in the world with his strength, superhero, all that. So I love this couple, but I also love it because of the family dynamic. They do such a good job. Just like Wally and Linda, I think they do an absolute wonderful job here as well. This to me is the best couple so far in this list. But we're not stopping there because now we got Swamp Thing. Now Swamp Thing and Abigail is a really interesting one because I love them as a couple. But I also feel like they play a lot with these characters of like, they're together for a while, now they're not, and I don't like that. But if we're talking about when they're together, Alan Moore's run specifically, or even Rick's run right after, I personally really like these two together. I think when they bring in a family character as well, it's really well done. And unfortunately, due to the messiness of Vertigo, dropping, losing, Swamp Thing becoming the main universe, this relationship has been up and down. But when it was working, it was really good. This would probably be the lower end of Perfect Couple, because if it just stayed and continued, I think the growth of these two together could be wonderful. But it is a bit odd that, you know, a plant creature is fucking her human. But you know what? Plants are healthy for you. And she just needs a daily dose of some seeding. Oh god, I'm gonna get taken down here. So Perfect Couple, but at the lower end. Not as good as these three. So I'm not a huge fan of Cyclops or Scott and Jean. I'm not a huge fan of Logan and Jean. But when all three get together and pop and make it rock, you know what I'm saying? Thank you, Hickman. I know you, bro. I know what you did. I know they fucked. All of them together like a loving family. I like them all together, but the relationship is usually not my favorite. I put it more as a joke. I don't know if they officially all got together, but I can see it. I can see Scott submitting to Logan, or Logan submitting to Scott, and Jean in the middle just telling them, both you submit to me, you bitch. Anyway, it's messy though. Anytime these guys are together separately, it's messy, and all together probably even more messy, but maybe not. Maybe sexy is the word. Either way, I'm gonna put it in messy, because that's all it ever is with these three characters whenever they're together with each other. Okay, so we got Hulkling and Wiccan, which I personally really enjoy this coupling. I wish they were together more. I wish we had more storylines with them, but their marriage, the events that they have them in together, anytime they are together, I think they work really well, because they're always propping each other up to be better at what they are. Better for their friends, better for their race that they're helping, anything like that. I also think their power sets are really cool together. You know, a transformation plus awesome magic mage mission. You know, he's basically, well, he's Scarlet Witch's son, so it's really fucking cool. I personally think that it's great. I just wish we had more of it. I think if we had a longer storyline, this could go in the high Perfect Couple, but as it stands, it's gonna have to go in high Cute Couple, because we don't get enough of it. So I like them. They would be like the highest Cute Couple so far for me. Alright, so we're talking about Green Arrow and Black Canary. I love these characters. I love Green Arrow. He is one of my favorite superheroes. I love Black Canary. She is my top 5 female DC characters. My biggest thing, and Green Arrow would be top 5 male characters, so I love these characters. I even like when they're together. I think they're fun and cute together, but holy fuck is it messy. It is super messy a lot of times. Recent years, we've slowed down and it hasn't been that messy, but if you read Mike Grail's run, a lot of cheating. If you read even John Winnick's run, awesome run, but messy fucking relationship. Like, they're kind of together, and then they're not, then they fuck, then they marry. It's messy, they're fighting, they're not. It's very, very messy. I love it, but it's chaos. It is probably the highest form of messy for so far the relationship, but I actually really do like them together. But man, I can't say it's a perfect couple, because it is fucking messy. Okay, so Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. I think these two are really cute together, but just like Black Canary and Green Arrow, these two are messy as fuck together. And that's because they're two chaos characters, especially Harley Quinn. You never know what she's thinking. But Poison Ivy is, you know, still a villain in a sense, or an anti-villain now. But she's still not the best, like, moral compass character, and neither is Harley Quinn. They're also very, very, very horny characters. So they like to do it and move it, if you know what I'm saying. So even in Poison Ivy's run, each of them mess around with other characters. So this is a super messy relationship. At the same time, it's not messy in a way where, like, you're cheating on me. It's more messy of, like, well, that's what we do. We love each other, but we also like to explore. And I like that. We don't get, you know, the sex positive of like, not every relationship has to be a strict just staying together and no other relationship or messing around. Some people enjoy that and are okay with that. And I think this series, Poison Ivy, is much more fluid with that sexuality. So I actually like it, but it is messy because these two characters are insane. So it's messy. But it's on the lower end. It almost goes to cute couple, but it is messy every time I read them. I'm not too sure what's happening half the time. So Batman and Catwoman. So I am kind of stuck in between here, is that I like them together, and when they work together, I'm going to say I like Tom King's run with them together. I think it's usually actually pretty good with how they do their relationship. Saying that, outside of Tom King, they don't seem to have the best chemistry half the time. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. I actually like it more in off-world stories, better usually. But it's just so not working a lot of the times because writers don't seem to get either the voice of Bruce or the voice of Selina. And so when they're together, it clashes. I don't know. There's a lot that I like about this, but there's a lot that frustrates the shit out of me. So I'm going to put it in doesn't work because outside of Tom King's run, I just don't like them a lot of time together, but I liked it in Tom King's run. But another character that doesn't work is Superman and Wonder Woman. And I'll go on record of saying I think technically, on a technical level, this could be a lot of fun together. And I actually didn't hate the New 52 first 6 to 10 issues with them together. I actually think it was actually pretty fun watching two powerhouse characters, you know, get it on and then be heroes together. But the chemistry is not there at all. I won't be surprised if like maybe Absolute Wonder Woman and Absolute Superman might have some chemistry that might work, or they might just be besties. Either way, I'm okay with it. But the New 52 Superman and Wonder Woman just didn't work on so many levels, especially after the initial like 8 issues or so. It started going downhill fast, and then it was like a train wreck those last 10 issues. So yeah, where I'm gonna have to put this is it just doesn't work at all. It's very low, no, actually high end doesn't work. Yeah, this doesn't work really at all. Kate and Renee, well, you know, this would work, except Kate is a fucked up character a lot of time. And I mean that in the best way possible. I, again, like both these characters quite a bit, but it is messy when they're together. Mostly because Kate is a fuck up. But then Renee is dealing with so much PDST, and now she's also with, now she's also the Question. So there's a lot of messiness going on, and it sucks because when they are together, it's actually pretty adorable and fun. But every time they clash or fight, I'm like, oh my god, this is just so much fucking chaos. So I wish I could feel better for them. But anyway, yeah, this is a messy, lower end messy, because you know we don't have too many Kate stories with Renee, but the ones that do, it's cute but also chaos. And last but not least, Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. This to me is top 3. Just because Luke Cage is such a great character. Jessica Jones is also a great character. And the longer they're together, the better it becomes. Simple as that. I liked them when they first got together, but it's better now because they have a daughter and they focus on family. But you also still get Jessica, who she is, and Luke Cage. But thanks to them being together, they made themselves better. And then thanks to their daughter, they work harder to make themselves better. So there's so many elements and layers to these characters together that I absolutely love. So this to me is top 3. Where would I put it? I'm going to have to put it in there. I actually like it a little bit more than Peter and MJ, only because Peter and MJ have a lot more messiness. Like at the peak of MJ and Peter, so if we're talking like David Michelini's run and Ultimate Spider-Man from Bendis and Hickman, then Peter and MJ is my favorite. But unfortunately, a lot of the times we don't have that. And yeah, unfortunately we have the messiness. And so there's a, you know, the best of the best makes it still stay in my perfect couple. But Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, I've never ever read a comic with them together where I'm like, they shouldn't be together. Not once. And to me, that's a testament to how good these characters are together and how much I like them together. So this would be my ranking. So my perfect couples, the ones I want as couples forever, is definitely Lois and Clark, Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, Peter and MJ, Linda and Wally, and Abigail and Swamp Thing or Alec Holland. when they're all together, when they're working, these are the peak romances in comics, at least for the big two for me. The cute couples, a lot of them could go into perfect couples, and they might be for some of you watching, but either I feel they're lacking enough stories, like Hulkling and Wiccan, or Rictor and Shatterstar, and then some I just think if we had more development, like Barbara and Dick, we could, or if Reed and Sue had more stories that I felt that connection. I unfortunately, personally don't, but I still think they're all very cute together. Everything else is either messy. I love my messy column, because those are like the biggest chaos characters for couples. Doesn't work is my personal opinion. I wish I could say not. And the ill, I had to put some disgusting couples on here, and those, all three of those are bad, but especially Terra and Deathstroke, and especially Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Please don't do either of those things. Anyway, if you liked my video, please hit the like button. If you loved it, hit the subscribe button. If you have a special someone, happy Valentine's Day. I hope you guys have a wonderful day together. Whether it's a perfect couple, a cute couple, a messy couple, I don't care what you guys are. Just make sure you're not Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, please. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a good one. Enjoy. And I'll check you guys out next time for some good comic book shit.